What's my name? $67,586 Shannon Meyer of the Monroe County Sheriff's Office. My name is Chris Chichester. I live at 26 Sanders Farm Drive in Penfield. You know my name because I spoke to you on the phone for an hour. I answered every question. What I don't know is you're writing a warrant for my arrest for walking through this parking lot next to my residence. You're not writing a warrant for the arrest of my neighbors. You're not writing a warrant for the arrest of my excellent friend I've known for 9 years that lives right next to me and walks through this parking lot. You're not writing a warrant for the arrest of Penfield High School students walking through this parking lot. You're not writing a warrant for the arrest of children riding their bikes through this parking lot. You're only writing a warrant for my arrest. So where's my 14th Amendment right to equal protection of the laws? $67,586 a year. Hack. Shannon Meyer. For 18 months, I've been demanding salaries. Monroe County Sheriff's Office. Your entire existence at the Sheriff's Office is tax dollars. Every single employee at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office and the Monroe County District Attorney's Office is paid taxpayer dollars. And your corrupt boss, Sheriff Todd Baxter, refused for 18 months to disclose salaries. And the reason why I have a list of salaries that is the public employee payrolls, I am relentless. It's the page right here. Below Nicholas R. Mahoney at $67,586. And above Tyler J. Amo at $66,260 is Shannon M. Meyer, $67,586. There's your salary I've been demanding for 18 months. There are individuals on here making $10,000, $11,000, $12,000 a year. Is your boss, Sheriff Todd Baxter, paying minors? Is your boss, Sheriff Todd Baxter, paying minors that are related to Monroe County Sheriff's Office employees? That's what an audit can determine. So, Shannon Meyer, I speak to you. I answer every question. I had to hold the phone approximately 6 inches from my ear and look at it because of the bizarre way you communicate. Because you don't respond to answers. So my answers are completely irrelevant to you because you're just going through the motions, to use that cliche. So you can say you talk to me. Oh, I talked to him. I talked to that Chris Chichester. Because it doesn't matter when I say to you that people walk through this parking lot all day long. It doesn't matter when I say to you that 200 people walk through that parking lot in a span of 15 minutes after the fireworks at Harris Whalen Park. A couple years in a row. 200 people in 15 minutes. Because I went to the fireworks and I'm walking down a sidewalk in Penfield Road. Everybody goes left to walk through the parking lot to get to these residences where I live. I kept walking straight. I made a left on Sanders Farm Drive, and I sat right here and I looked out the window. I watched people walk through that parking lot after the fireworks. Did you write a warrant for the arrest of any of these people? Children riding their bikes? Through it that day? One. If it's a crime to walk through that parking lot, you should have 200 warrants just for that one period of time. You are the freak show of the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, and you have company in Andrew Yao. I've never hated the police in my life. And where I worked in Albany and Washington, D.C., I would see the police. I would see the state troopers in the Capitol in Albany. I would see Washington, D.C. police all the time when I walked to the Capitol on my way to work. I've never had any hatred for the police, and I will have a burning hatred for the police until I'm 6 feet under in a coffin, because you, Shannon Meyer, and your corrupt hack, Andrew Yalley. Criminal contempt from you? Criminal contempt. Here comes a guy on his tractor. If they haven't been here for 7 years and they're suddenly here, what do you think I'm going to think? And my neighbors think the same thing too. Because they're here on their tractors and their weed whackers and leaf blowers. It's ridiculous. Layla Kumar and Nayraj Shah do not have the documentation that proves ownership of this land. They just like to enter this property. And here it's 7 o'clock in the morning. What would you think, Shannon Meyer, if you're sleeping with Michael Bull at 7 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday and Sunday? So there you are sleeping with Michael Bull. And here they come from Rapacolo Tree and Lawn Care right by your window. And they wake you and Michael Bull up. What would you think about that, Shannon Meyer? You're sleeping at 7 o'clock in the morning. Here comes his tractor, the weed whacker, the leaf blower, and they wake you up. What would you and Michael Bull think about that, Shannon Meyer? And your $67,586 a year salary, which should be reduced by $67,586. Be relentless and try to make that happen. Can you figure out how I'm going to try to make that happen? How is it a crime to walk out here, stand here, say they don't own that land, and walk back into my residence? Because when I sat down right here and I looked out my window, there you go running into my backyard. Crash. There you are, Shannon Meyer, laying on your face in my backyard dirt. You're such a pathetic incompetent. You can't even stay on your 2 feet when you're losing your mind, running into my backyard to abridge my civil and constitutional rights. Now you're pounding on my door. You are pounding on my door, not you. The 5 other fanatics, degenerates, and sociopaths that are standing at my door, which I don't know until I open it. And I open the door. And you run around to the front. Now you're breathing heavy, perspiring. You look like a fucking train wreck. Oh, excuse me. Did I just use profanity? Oh, because Deputy Savino, another one of your fanatics, degenerates, sociopaths, comes to my house to tell me how to talk, which I detailed in previous YouTubes and writing to your corrupt hack boss, Sheriff Baxter. So there you are. You run around to the front in all your train wreck glory with the other 5 fanatics, degenerates, and sociopaths. 6 of you are here from me being outside for 30 seconds. 6 of you are here. How is that a crime? How is that a crime that delivers 6 public employees from the Monroe County Sheriff's Office to my residence? Shannon Meyer. We just want to talk to you outside. You're lying to me. That's a lie. I walk outside. Show us where you were standing. It's bizarre. I'm standing there thinking, why are they asking me to show them where I was standing? You should know where I was standing. Because you put a camera on that building at 2025 Penn Road. Was that your decision to put that camera on that building? I'm going to get to that. Show us where you were standing. I hesitate to leave my door. And then when I'm walking around on my front lawn, you're surrounding me like this. And one of your fanatics takes my wrist and puts it behind my back so I'll go to handcuffs. How is that a crime? Shannon Meyer. Tell me, Shannon Meyer, how that's criminal contempt second, because this nauseating piece of paper is because of you. How can that possibly be a crime? I am 55 years old. I have always known the difference between legal and illegal. And there I am, standing on my front lawn in handcuffs, simply telling the ZZ Top freak show on his tractor that nobody owns that land. So instead of investigating a case with real criminal behavior, for example, a rape or a robbery or an arson or a murder, here you 6 fanatics, degenerates, sociopaths standing on my front lawn for me being outside for 30 seconds. 30 seconds I was outside. That's because you, Shannon Meyer, was salivating at the thought of abridging my civil and constitutional rights with your despicable, disgusting, reprehensible arrest. I had to tell my mother and father about this day. I had to tell my 78-year-old mother and my 84-year-old father about this day. And my mother cried. That's a sound no child ever wants to hear. Tens of millions of sons and daughters never want to hear their mother cry on the phone. And my mother cried on the phone, Shannon Meyer, because of you. Andrew Really's paid $79,000 for harassment second without a victim. I'm charged with harassment second while I'm not harassing anyone. How does that happen in the United States of America? Any individual, every individual charged with harassment second has a victim, because there's a human being. That person charged with harassment is, wait for it, harassing. I go to the now defunct PW Fitness on Penfield Road. I'm in the back. I'm on the bench press. Up walks to me Jim's psychopath, Jermaine Benman. I say to him, I'll be 30 seconds. I lean back on the apparatus because I'm on the machine. And I'm not getting off it because Jim's psychopath, Jermaine Benman, goes like this. Jermaine Benman screams when he uses the weights. Jermaine Benman behaves like an animal at the gym, and Jermaine Benman's going to summon the animal that is Andrew Really to that gym I'm in. So Benman goes like this. I say, I'll be 30 seconds. I lean back on the machine because I'm on the apparatus. Benman stands over me. His left leg, his right leg. I lean up to ask him what he's doing, and he punches down, and my head snaps back violently. So as he walks away, I had to make an instantaneous decision not to follow him and respond with violence by grabbing him by the neck and throwing him to the ground and delivering the most vicious beating possible to Jermaine L. Benman, because I can still handle myself at my age. This is a violent assault. I have never believed in violence. In that day, I should have embraced violence to prevent what's going to happen to me. So Andrew Really arrives after a witness calls the Monroe County Sheriff's Office. We go outside. Andrew Really has been to my residence. This is his parking lot. He knows exactly my identity. And he doesn't have Jermaine Benman and me in front of him to ask what happened. Does not care. We go outside, and he bizarrely tells me to wait in the back seat of his vehicle. I'm sitting in the back seat of Andrew Really's police vehicle, sheriff's vehicle, and he's talking to Jermaine Benman in front of me because he's telling Jermaine Benman what to say. And after he finishes telling Jermaine Benman what to say, Jermaine Benman walks around to the side of the vehicle, and Jermaine L. Benman says to me, I want to press charges against you. That's how I'm charged with harassment second. Sitting in the back seat of Andrew Really's Monroe County Sheriff's Office vehicle. You, Shannon Meyer, and your repulsive hack colleague, Andrew Really, do not know what constitutes criminal behavior. Harassment second, who am I harassing? There has to be a victim. There is no victim. Criminal contempt second, I'm in contempt of you, Shannon Meyer. I have a picture of you, Shannon. Here you are. You're at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office. And there you are in front of the official flag of the Monroe County Sheriff's Office. And I have a picture of your supervisor at the Monroe County Sheriff's. This is Deputy Sheriff Joseph Goebbels. So, got a lot going on there at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office. I like your brown uniform. So, what you are at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, American gangster. Exactly what you are. Now, land ownership is proved by documents. Here comes this guy in his tractor, Shannon Meyer. This way, how does anybody own that land? This is what they sent me. Did you ask Shannon Meyer when you went over there, 2041 Penfield Road, to talk to Nayraj and Leila Kumar Shah for documentation for land ownership? This is what they sent me. Did you, Shannon Meyer, demand documentation for Nayraj and Leila Kumar Shah about the land that they claim they own behind and alongside my residence? The question answers itself. The answer is no. I'm going to give you just one of a multitude of examples of who you're with these parasites. Nayraj and Leila Kumar Shah. I adopted my Shih Tzu from Molly Pop Farm Humane Society with my ex-girlfriend Laura, and we were interviewed because we decided we wanted to adopt a dog. You don't just give a dog to anybody. So Laura and I were approved, and we picked him out, and it was a wonderful day. So I'm walking my little guy. I have love in his heart, just like all dogs. You have a dog, then you love your dogs. That's the way it's supposed to be in this life. Walking my dog same way, 7 years, 4,000 times. Back window from the Shaw law firm flies open. Their employee, this woman who weighs about 180, 190, 200 pounds, she's in that ballpark, is screaming at me outside the window. I don't know what she's talking about. Why she's screaming. I come back here with my little guy and I go over there. I walk through the parking lot. I walk through the parking lot, Shannon Meyer. You know, when I was permitted to walk through the parking lot. So, Shannon Meyer, I walk through the parking lot and I go over there, talk to these whack jobs, Len Kumar, Nayraj Shah, and they don't want to talk to me. They're in the back. They don't want to talk to me. They don't want not one word, not one sound, not one syllable, even though their employees screaming at me. Screaming. Losing her mind. So, I know when somebody doesn't want to talk, come back over here. An hour later, two of your colleagues, your repulsive hacks, your fellow repulsive hacks are here with animal control to seize my dog. One phone call, and you're here to seize my little guy. There is not a dog owner on earth that surrenders a dog to the police because the police demand it. This is what you're doing at the sheriff's office. Nobody calls me after Leila Kumar and Nayraj Shah lose their minds. Oh, we heard you walking your dog on land. Did they own that land or not? And I would say, I've been walking my dog for 7 years. There's no need to come here. The reason why your two colleagues are here with animal control is that you want to exercise power. You want to be able to come to someone's house and demand that dog and get that satisfaction that you have that type of powerful control over that person's life. That's exactly why your employees are here. And that's why cops behave in such disgusting, vile, sickening ways. Because you have power complexes, cops. Not all cops. But there are enough of them, and I've seen enough of them, that think they can do anything. And you're one of them. How'd you get to my residence? Steve Desmond. I sent it to him on June 22nd, 2020. Steve Desmond. Did he call you? He called someone. Was it that sergeant at Panorama Trail, or was it you? Was it someone else? Steve Desmond. Registered mail return receipt. He signed for this. So, I'm not going to read all of it, but I'm just going to read the first two graphs. Shannon Meyer and your $67,000 salary. You listen to me, you fucking weed-whacking grass-cutter loser. I came outside for 30 seconds to tell you and your fellow parasites that no one owns that land next to my residence. I looked right at you. You took out your phone. You called the fanatics, degenerates, sociopaths at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office because Sheriff Todd Baxter's taxpayer-subsidized extremist gave you the number. What crime did I commit? Tell me. For being outside for 30 seconds, as you are a fucking weed-whacking, grass-cutting loser. You have a limited education, and an answer is impossible for an ignoramus such as you. Did you notice I was using profanity there? $67,000 a year, Shannon Meyer. I'm walking my wonderful little guy like I do every day, and I do use profanity. Fuck you, Shannon Meyer. And I've used profanity since I was in the military in the 101st Airborne Division, Air Assault, Fort Campbell, Kentucky. Just like millions of people, it's called exercising my First Amendment right. And one day, here's Nancy Dooley of this business at 2025 Penfield Road pulling out of the parking lot in her vehicle, and she stops. When I leave work, I back up. I don't care who's around me. I drive away. Tens of millions of people do that every day. That's not what Nancy Dooley does. Nancy Dooley pulls out, and there she is. She stops her car. She's up, car's idling. She's staring at me. This Kool-Aid drinker at this Jonestown Consumer Insights. So about 30 seconds goes by. There she is. The car's idling. She's still staring at me and my dog. I'm thinking Nancy Dooley thinks that my dog defecating and urinating in her presence is a war crime. So I say to Nancy Dooley, what the fuck are you looking at? Fuck you. And fuck you, Shannon Meyer. She drives away. A half an hour later, a male and female Monroe County Sheriff Office employee are at my door. Was that you, the female? I don't know. The male is Deputy Savino. I didn't see his name on payroll. I did not see Savino's name on the payroll. I let the male and the female in. I walk to the center of my living room right over here. I turn around. As I turn around, there he is right here. What did you say to the woman in the car? I reply, what the fuck are you looking at? Fuck you. And then he says to me, don't swear at me. He demands to know my speech. I tell him exactly what my speech is. And he's telling me not to swear in my own residence. This is what you have to work with. This is what you are at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office. A criminal organization. Why don't you contact Nayraj and Kumar Shah and ask them why they're delivering you to my residence for walking my wonderful little guy the same way for 7 years, 4,000 times, and demanding him when this is nothing, this is fiction. So when you fanatics, degenerates, and sociopaths, your fellow fanatics, degenerates, and sociopaths descended on me, took me to Monroe County Jail, I went to handcuffs, and my two neighbors watched this in astonishment and said, all you did is go outside and say they don't want to walk back in your house. So in addition to the video I was on, because you put the camera on 2025 Penfield, Elliot Ross says to me, you're going to be arrested. And then when I was taken to the jail, your employee showed me the video. It was on his phone. And I accurately described it as a surveillance device. If it's not a surveillance device, what is it? So you know what I didn't hear? $67,000 a year, Shannon Meyer? Miranda versus Arizona. I've never heard Miranda. Two concoctions, never heard Miranda. So. Shannon, I have one of your books here. This is it right here. This is a book you bought because you love this book. Here it is right here. Women Who Love Psychopaths. So, Shannon, women who love psychopaths, inside relationships of inevitable harm with psychopaths, sociopaths, and narcissists. Psychopaths, sociopaths, and narcissists. That's you, sweetheart. You know, you should read this book with Michael Bull next to you. You know, Shannon, you really need to do something about your hair here, because what's going on here with your hair, you know, in your nightgown here, and you look like you're really angry here. This look on your face here. I think you have some emotional self-control issues here, especially, you know, you being, on this movie poster here. How'd you get yourself on this poster here? I mean, did you call Universal Studios and ask them to put you, on here? Because I'm very concerned about your behavior, Shannon. Because Shannon, you need to stay away from bunny rabbits. Chris Chichester, 26 Sanders Farm Drive, is telling you $67,000 a year, corrupt hack Shannon Meyer, to stay away from these bunny rabbits. And also, staying away from a bunny rabbit is not the only entity that you should stay away from, because there are people that you should stay away from. I have a picture of you here. And you, Shannon Meyer, you need to stay away from Nancy Kerrigan. because here you are on the ice and you are looking at her with daggers, all right? So you need to stay permanently away from Virgin or Nancy Kerrigan. Do you understand me, Shannon Meyer? No. Now, Shannon, the other thing I'm concerned about is, you're wearing a white dress at the office, and here you're going in there, you want to impress all the guys and all the fellas, and here you're wearing your white dress, and you uncross your legs, and that's just not a good scene there at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office. You're wearing this white dress, and then you're uncrossing your legs, and that's just that's unprofessional, Shannon. So you need to work on your behavior, and your behavior is in careers with the most psychopaths, because that's you, sweetheart. So now, Shannon, this land next to my house, it has no ownership. I'm demanding that Nayraj Shah, your client, prove he owns that land. Refused. I just did put this in the mail. That's certified mail. Prove you own that land, Nayraj. Refused. Shannon, Layla Kumar, refused. Now I'm going to get to Steve Desmond, how he refused. Refused. Steve Desmond, refused. I just read you how you came to my house. Did you have contact with Steve Desmond, Shannon Meyer? What was your contact with Steve Desmond, Shannon Meyer? What's the answer to that question? It's my correspondence, registered mail, term receipt. I didn't hear anything from him. I'm telling Steve Desmond, this civilian, that he called you to my residence. Nothing. Sent on June 22nd. It's August. What kind of communication did you have with Steve Desmond to come here? Shannon Meyer. But I'll call the tree and won't get refused. You know why? He knows what's in here. And I tell him, I will soon contact the United States Department of Justice. I will also contact the United States Attorney for the Western District of New York, Kenny Jr. I will tell each office that you took your phone out and called the Fanatics Degenerate Sociopaths from the Monroe County Sheriff's Office to my residence. I don't hear anything from you, apparently, civilian. Steve Desmond wear a Monroe County Sheriff's Office uniform? Shannon Meyer? Does he? Steve Desmond on payroll of the Monroe County Sheriff's Office? You're using this weed-whacking, grass-cutting loser to come to my residence. Elliot Ross says to me, you're going to be arrested? Do you have contact with Elliot Ross? Because he says to me, exact words of what I just said, you're going to be arrested. Did you, Shannon Meyer, tell this Elliot Ross if I was to be arrested? Was that you? Was it that sergeant at Panorama Trailer? I don't see his name on the payroll. Did he get fired? Because you should be fired. Your ass should be fired immediately. Because you're corrupt, you bum out just like Todd Baxter. Speaking of which, Todd Baxter, the sheriff of Monroe County, party switching, say anything fraud. Todd Baxter is afraid to open his mail from me. This was sent in June 2019 because he knows the Freedom of Information law that demands a list of salaries at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office is in here. I didn't open this. Your boss is so pathetic and bankrupt. And you, Shannon Meyer, pathetic and bankrupt. Layla Kumar Shah, prove you own that land, refused. Layla Kumar Shah, prove you own that land, refused. Nayraj Shah, prove you own that land, refused. Shannon, I have a picture here of Sheriff Baxter. And here he is standing next to Deputy Sheriff Benito Mussolini. And you need to tell Deputy Sheriff Benito Mussolini that nobody knows what the hell this arm action is. I mean, what the hell is that? How would you go like that? This is total incoherence what you're doing here at the sheriff's office. I mean, here's Sheriff Baxter is. Here's Deputy Sheriff Mussolini with this. I don't get that. What is that? So, now, I run a 5K in MCC, Shannon, sweetheart. And after the race, I go to the gym. And it's 4 of your employees at the gym at MCC. You're standing around here. They are right here. Right there. There are your employees, the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, at a gym, at MCC after 5K, standing around doing nothing. Is your boss Todd Baxter? No. What the employees of the sheriff's office are doing, and he can't know what everybody's doing, but he should at least know that somebody's at, 4 of them, I should say, a gym at MCC after 5K doing nothing. You were such a joke at the sheriff's office, you don't even know you're a joke. And the reason why you're a joke is you work at a Jonestown. What is your favorite flavor Kool-Aid, Shannon Meyer? What is it? Is it the grape? Is it the cherry? Is it the watermelon? What's your favorite Kool-Aid? Because you are Kool-Aid drinker Shannon Meyer. So, I have to go to Penfield Town Court. I used to go over to Penfield Public Library to see my ex-girlfriend Laura. I'd walk in, open the door, go to the left. I don't know at the end of the hallway is Penfield Town Court. Despite the fact that my ex-girlfriend Laura works at the library. Because I've never been in a courtroom as a defendant. I've been in a courtroom one time. I got a speeding ticket on Washington Avenue, Albany, on my way to the Capitol. I went to Albany City Hall where it was dismissed immediately by the judge. So, I go to court. I stand at the podium. I don't have counsel. I look over at the assistant district attorney. She doesn't say one word in front of John P. Lomenzo Jr., this vile 70-year-old pedophile protection rack for Daniel DeLaus III. Does that name sound familiar? The guy I have to appear in front of knows Daniel DeLaus II. And Daniel DeLaus III is arrested because he's trying to entice children into his vehicle with candy or some other device because Daniel DeLaus III is a child rapist in Penfield. And the 70-year-old hack I have to appear in front of is a child rapist protection racket for Daniel DeLaus III. So, I stand there. You're not there. Why not? You're not there to detail criminal contempt. Second, Andrew Reale's not there. There's no one there. Prosecutor doesn't talk. No one's there. You're not there. These two vile, disgusting, sickening, nauseating criminal concoctions. No one's there. Prosecutor doesn't talk. Menzo brings the proceeding to an end. I go in the back. There's $79,000 Andrew Reale. Put your hands behind your back. He knows he charges me with a ransom second. Sit in the backseat of his vehicle. And he knows about this day when I walk out of here because I told him. So, I have to go to, I am delivered to Monroe County Jail as an innocent man. And when I get there, my dog is in my house. My wonderful little guy, my Shih Tzu. And I go to a room where I'm told to strip naked. I'm naked in front of the Monroe County Sheriff's Office jailer. I'm waiting for him to hand me an orange jumpsuit. He's not handing it to me. And I say to him, let me know when you're done staring at my dick. Hands me an orange jumpsuit. I put it on. I have to do something about my little guy, my dog. Somebody needs to come here and get him because I have a key tape to the back porch. I walk through the center of the jail, and there's a Monroe County Sheriff's Office employee, this perfect man, with a striking appearance with bald head. He's about 6 foot, 190 pounds, and he arranged for someone to come to my residence to get my little guy. I saw him once at the Home Depot on Penfield Road, and I didn't have enough time to go up to him and thank him for what he did for me. This is what you're doing to me. I didn't commit a crime. Prosecutor didn't talk in court. I'm delivered to jail. I'm standing there naked. My dog is in my house. Someone has to come to my house to get him. So, there I am as an innocent man in Monroe County Jail. I took out an envelope and I wrote language on this envelope that I have taped to my wall. It says, whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger.